Let's see. Resource packs. Where assets, embers. Here we are. Textures and blocks. What a alchemic slurry. So they added a fluid too. I kind of want to do the fluid, guys. I kind of want to do the fluid slurry. Do they not? Where's the? I don't see the fluid in the list. Molten dawnstone. What? So the only fluid I see is molten dawnstone. Is that right? Interesting. Interesting. So we could do something with that. Let's pull out a tank. We'll go ahead and get the dawnstone looking not terrible. Which tank? Where's my portable? That's my favorite. It's the only one that matters. Dawnstone. Just like that. Plop, 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 plop. How's that sound go? Plop, plop. Alright. So that's our dawnstone. Let's work on that. Now, how do you get dawnstone? Because that's gonna decide how I want to texture this. Is it just a... Oh, nice. It's got infusion crafting built in. That's cool. So it's a mixture of gold and copper, which means I probably need to add it to the mod support as an alloy at some point. Gold and copper makes dawnstone. So it's literally just a molten metal. That's all it is. Frost, any chance you could put a sun on the side of the block of dawnstone, like how there's a dragon heart on the side of the awakened draconium? Yes. Yes, I can, and I will, just for you. And I'm going to do that right now, actually. You ready for this? Because that turned out to be a really solid way, since we have about 1,000,000 metals, just FYI. So, like, the metals start about right here in the list, and we have 3 pages of them. We have so many metals that it's always nice to be able to add something to them to tell them apart. Are we evolving? Maybe. We're evolving into the perfectly statted, perfect Bidoof. Zalbathar? Oh, man. If you haven't seen what I'm referring to, Utility Man, you got to hit Zalbathar up in our Discord. Which, by the way, if you are into games, which I would hope you are, if you're here, come check out our Discord server. We got plenty of people for everyone. But the perfect Bidoof, yes, Sora knows. Zalbathar knows. Zalda is definitely a Bidoof. Okay, but is he the golden shining abs Bidoof? That's what matters. All right, so this is the part. This is the part where we have some fun, and we totally don't plagiarize Google Images for icons, right? This is the part where we totally don't plagiarize Google search results for a sun icon PNG. Like this is definitely not what we're doing. By the by. So as you can see, what we just did not do was take an image from Google. And the next thing we're not going to do is open said image from Google. Like that. And the very next thing we're not going to do is, create a white version of it. Actually, I don't want to make a white version. I want to keep it like that. So, where is it? Block Dawnstone. Let's open that up with Photoshop. And what we're not going to do is copy plagiarized imagery over into the Dawnstone. We wouldn't want to do that. Just like that is what we're not going to do. And probably make it a little bit smaller, right? Because we want it to fit inside the lip. Or I'm sorry, not fit inside the lip. Just like that. 100% size, that's what it looks like. Let's not make it slightly transparent, just like that. And not save our plagiarized material. Like that. Alright, so since we didn't steal any images... Nope, we would never steal it. Ever. We need a fan art of Zald as the Golden Bidoof. Wouldn't that just be a fan art of the Golden Bidoof, since Zald is the Golden Bidoof? Like, the fan art would be a non-Zald Bidoof, I think. If I'm being honest here. Which I am, by the way. So once we get this Dawnstone nice and decorative, we're going to update the molten texture, I think. I think that's going to be the next step. The molten textures are interesting too. Like if you ever do any fluid texturing work, you've got two textures to work with. You've got a still fluid for when it's not pouring, and you have an actively flowing fluid for when it is pouring. And in fact, even though it's still reloading, you can see over here the top of this liquid is going to be still, and then all the sides of the liquid are going to be flowing. That's kind of how the texture works. So you've got two textures, animated, and two MC Meta files, which tells it how to behave in its animation. So texturing fluid typically takes 4 files, 2 images and 2 MC Metas. But I'll show you that once we get this sun loaded up properly. Scariest thing, seeing a spider drop in front of you. Oh my god. I've got a story for you about that. The only creature I'm scared of in this world is bees, but there was one spider. Man, I was with Rachel at the old apartments we lived at. And I was getting into the passenger seat of the car because she wanted to drive. And there was a spider on the rooftop of the car, and it was on her side, and I didn't think anything of it. I noticed it, and I remember saying, "Oh, you have a spider on the car." And I went to get in. As soon as I leaned down, right, did that 45-degree lean like you're getting ready to get into the car, dude, that spider that spider grew wings and went straight for me. And it didn't just jump off the car. I noticed it was flying towards me, so I dove into the car like I was some bag of change and Rachel was trying to steal me from the bank. That's kind of, if you can imagine that, being just like thrown into the car, that's what I did. I jettisoned my body into the passenger seat of the car. And the spider hopped down like a damn ninja, coming after me, and I backed up over the I think half of my body was in the back seat by the time it was done, and Rachel could do nothing but laugh. So there you go, Zal. There's your little sun on the Dawnstone. Look good? I think it looks good. Now we can work on the molten. Because the molten Dawnstone looks ugly. Ugly. Action movie dive into the car. Yeah. The only thing that it was missing was the big explosion. That's it. And Trey, yeah, I think you have heard that. All right, so let's get this molten fluid, and we do want it to. Let me go into my mod. As you can see, I've added a ton of meltables for all of our mods. Pretty much anything that's an ore can be melted. So I want to take that same style and make this fluid meltable with this molten metal style, which that style is provided by Tinker's Construct. So, assets, Tinker's T-Construct, textures, blocks, fluids, and now we want to turn on tiles. All right, so we want the molten metals. So there those are. Copy those. And we need to go to embers, textures, blocks. Do they have a fluids? Where's theirs at? Molten. See, all our other mods take care of all these other moltens. Why is this out of order again? Group by type. Alright. So, where is it? Molten Dawnstone. There it is. Molten Dawnstone flowing. Molten Dawnstone still. That's the name. So let's delete that. We'll paste these in. Molten Dawn Stone still.png.mcmeta. Oh, hold on. Molten, where's it at? Dawnstone. I forgot to delete those. All right. Molten, Dawnstone, still.png.mcmeta, and then molten, Dawnstone, flowing.png.mcmeta. All right. And then where are they at? Molten metal, I think is what it's called by default. Yeah, here we go. So this is going to be molten Dawnstone flowing.png, molten Dawnstone still.png, and then we're going to open them up in Photoshop because they need some coloring work done. Yes, they do. So let's copy our Dawnstone over into our fluid layer is what we're going to do, just so we can color match. All right, so here's our little thing there. And color time, hue saturation, colorize, bring that saturation up, and now we just match. And I think we have a winner. I think that's a good color match. You probably can barely even see, this little guy moving in there, which is exactly what we want. This is flowing, so we will export it as such. Molten Dawnstone, flowing, save, yes. And then we're going to just take this hue saturation filter we created, drag it right over to the still, and resave this as Molten Dawnstone still. If everything went according to plan, then that means that this nice little pixelated mess will now be color matched to that and be upgraded in texture. If it went according to plan, of course. Is it sick? Vanilla Minecraft music, throw a cat CD into the jukebox farm. Actually, what I usually do when I stream is I usually have Spotify up. Let me bring Spotify up, actually. Installing Spotify. Yeah, it'd be a little bit more entertaining, I think, than the game volume. Where's my? Let's get my stream playing one. There we go. Can you guys hear that? Or is that like really quiet?
Last night in my dreams, walking the streets of some old ghost town.
Hopefully you guys can hear that. We're just waiting for Minecraft to refresh. Almost there, almost there. Can you still hear me over the music? That's the important part. Now I know my heart is a ghost town. Isn't it a good song? What's that song that always came on, Trey, when I would stream? And it would just loop? It was something from Pendulum, wasn't it? Like, I seem to recall it would just like play over and over no matter what I set my repeat to. Bullets by Archive. Bullets by Archive. I could pull that up. Is that on Spotify? Oh, that's the Cyberpunk 2077 soundtrack. This is this song, Utility Man, is amazing. So you want me to just play the Cyberpunk 2077 soundtrack? By the way, Ryan, because of the audio we're playing, this stuff is not going to be monetized on YouTube, just FYI. Alright, we're going to play some Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, it looks like my texture's loaded too. Alright, I have no idea what I'm getting into with this. It sounds interesting. Oh, there we go. See? Look at that. There's our newly done molten dawnstone in there. Doesn't that look great? It kind of looks like butter. I want some butter now. Man, it's kind of quiet, isn't it? There we go. That's better. Oh, that's so much better looking. I like it. Alright, so at Embers, where were we? There's only 3 pages of content, so it's not too bad. I think the only time that's going to be work, like real work, is getting into the multi-blocks. That's where the real work's going to be. Let's knock out some of these items, though. So we got bricks, a blend, which looks like a dust, plate, stamps. Stamps. Okay, I think I'd be able to use like the Tinker's Construct casts for these. Let's see. Do I have advanced tooltip shown? No, okay. Yeah, let's get the Chamomite bricks and plates. Brick and plate out, potentially. So that our Chamonite is right here, so we know what the coloring of it's supposed to be like. Let's do a search in all of our textures for brick, because I know I've got to have some brick items in here, which I do. I have tons. Perfect. And I've got way too much of this garbage out here now. Where's the... Okay, this is the one. Put that right in there and apply our Chamomite coloring to it. Perfect. Now we've got our Chamomite brick. File, export. This is good music. I like this. Chamomite brick and archaic. See how important it is to have really good adjustment layers? So you just be like, okay, here's Chamomite. Actually, it's archaic now. It's so much easier to work this way by using adjustment layers that you can drag around as needed. I'm not going in any like specific order, which is interesting. I usually go in like a very, very regiment order when I'm building textures. You dip some crab legs in that dawnstone. It does look like butter, doesn't it? Just a little bit like butter. Oh, what else? Blend plate. So we got Chamonite plate and raw Chamonite plate. Let's see, does that actually show up? Okay, so it's not... Interesting. So it's not actually a material plate. So let's see what our other plates look like. See if we want to copy that directly. I'm thinking it goes more in line with the dents. But we could just go with plate too. I might do that. So what did we use as a base? We used the Blood Magic as a base for the previous one, so let's do Blood Magic again. Textures, blocks, that's not what I wanted. Blocks, dungeons. Okay, so I actually have those special colorized. Let's do plate. Do a search for plate here. Find what we want to use for our template. Something kind of muted would be best. Probably lead. Lead would be a really good template to start with. Let's go ahead and close out of all these other extras. I also need to mute Minecraft, it would seem. right, so we did the bricks. Now we're going to be doing what we're working on now is the plates, and then after the plates, we're probably going to do the stamps. So that's the order we're going to go: brick, plates, dust, stamps.
Delivered from the hand of Alden.
I think that's what we're going to do.
In all this world.
I'll turn down the song just a little bit. Oh, hey, Southern Songbird. Welcome to the stream, by the by. All right, so we got our plate. Let's get that imported up here. Just going to copy that, paste it in here. Now, the trick is we need to make this as close to our base as possible. Hue, saturation, let's see. No, I want curves. Curves only impact the layer underneath, because we want to make sure this goes as close as possible to the base, so that way when we apply our colorization to it, it doesn't look off. So that looks like a good balance there. Let's get the saturation and stuff in check as well. About like that. That's good. So now we've got a color matched plate to the bottom, and we messed up, didn't we? Yes, we did. Because this actually needs to be centered. Look at that. How unfortunate. Okay, so now we can adjust it. Hue, saturation, we'll make it duller. That looks about right. Yep, they look like they belong to the same thing. And then we can apply our chamomite to it. And we can also do archaic, just like that. Alright, so this is a chamomite plate that we are making now. Plate. Plate chamomite. While we're here, we may as well do a raw plate as well, which appears to be the same, but it's got some more. It's a little bit brighter. Yep, that looks good. File, export. Chamomite raw. Yeah, see, I don't know if you could tell. That's a really small icon. Might be hard for you guys to see, but that's that. Now the stamps are going to be interesting. What kind of stamps are there? Embers, textures, items. Alright, so you can kind of see the work we've done already, just sporadically throughout. It's coming along pretty nicely, though. The chamomite, the raw chamomite, and the... Where's the plate archaic? I know it's in here somewhere. Well, it's in there somewhere. Oh, no, we didn't do that one yet. There we go. Now we can do the archaic. Oh, they don't even have an archaic plate. I lied about everything. Alright, that's fine. Let's work on our stamps. And for those, we've got the perfect thematically sound thing already, which is going to be the Tinker's Construct casts. Textures, items, cast. Alright, so what kind of stamps are there? Stamp. What do we have? We have a bar stamp, a blank stamp, a plate, a raw bar, a raw flat, a raw plate. What? Okay, so it's really just bar, flat, and plate, but you get it in, looks like the chamomite style and the raw chamomite style. So we need the ingot, the blank, and the plate casts from Tinker's Construct. That's what we need. So we need the ingot, the plate, and the blank. Just like that. Copy those over. Alright. cast ingot. Let's get a background just so we can see what we're working on. Just like that. Now, we're going to take our chamomite coloring. And we're going to put it right over top. Just like that. And we'll probably need to play with this a little bit. Let's take out the curves. We will do the hue and saturation. That's fine. About like that. Let's see. What did our chamomite look like? Chamomite brick. I'm just going to copy this over and just do this one by hand, I think. Copy our chamomite brick over, and we will copy got a better way to do this. There we go. Copy all three of these things over. Alright, so that gives us something to color match. Alright, so for the cast, it's going to be like that. So, hue, saturation, and only for the thing below. Let's take the lightness down. Saturation down. Alright, and that could be our chamomite. Let's get our plate brought in. Let's get our flat brought in. Perfect. Alright, hide everything but... So this will be our bar stamp for chamomite. Embers, embers, embers. Items. Stamp. This is going to be not the raw. This is just going to be a regular bar stamp. Your power's back on and the air conditioning scared you. Awesome. It's good to have power back, isn't it? It's almost like discovering water for the first time, or fire. Maybe they should have an archaic plate. Yeah, that's true. You think the codex doesn't cover everything, and to be fair, it doesn't, but it definitely does. Are you talking about for embers? So that's our bar stamp. Here's our plate stamp. And here's our flat stamp. And then we have to do it again for the raw variants. Okay, so the raw variants, it's literally pretty close to the same. It's just the lightness that is brighter. So there we go. This will be a raw flat. Raw plate. And raw bar. Alright, so that should get us some pretty good progress. Let's just take another look in our Embers folder and see where we're at. Textures, items, because that's what we did. We did some items. There's our 3 stamps. And then, of course, our raw. Okay, so all the stamps should now be good. So at this point, if I refresh,